Oh, yeah. Here we go again. I don't care what the media tells you. I don't care what they're trying to tell you is actually going on. We know what's going on. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. Everybody's on us on Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube, Rumble. Breaking news here. I want to get right into it. And I just want to tell you that, wow. Why is that not working? Okay. So, I know what the narrative is right now. They've already come out and said that when the jets were scrambled for the balloon, nothing to see here. Just, just a standard, non-threatening, navigational balloon. Yeah, whatever. Here we go again. Military tracking high altitude balloon over the United States. 1 year after the Chinese spy balloon drifted over the continental USA for several days and was blown apart off the coast of South Carolina, the Sidewinder missile by a fifth generation fighter jet. A new report from CBS News indicates the U.S. military is tracking a high altitude balloon flying over the western part of the country. Some different people reporting on it. U.S. government is reported to be tracking this balloon. Here we go again. This is, of course, a picture of the one from last year. And this was the spike of mentions in corporate media in February of last year. Isn't it interesting that it's February again, and we're talking about a balloon that is coming across? But let me just show you something here. So it's of unknown origin over Colorado. You and I both know, the big picture audience knows that there are major military facilities in Colorado. Okay, and that's just where it was seen. All right, but I want to show you real quick too the narrative that we're being given. Because the narrative that we're being given, y'all, let me pull this up real quick. Just one day after this, let's look at this. This is from, Ricky's just reporting the news of what he's seen. This is what's being reported by, let's see what this website is. This is AP News. A small, non-threatening balloon. A small, non-threatening balloon spotted flying high over the mountainous western United States was intercepted by a fighter jet over Utah on Friday, according to the North American Aerospace Defense Command. NORAD fighters sent in the morning to investigate the balloon, determined that it was non-maneuverable and did not present a threat to national security. The balloon was still in the air under close observation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do we not all know what is going on here? Yes, I do believe that there are some times that things are really what the media says. But are you not like me now? Are you not awake enough to think that if they rushed fighter jets to investigate this thing, and yes, I know they're a little triggered from what happened last year. Which, remember the original narrative? The military came out and said that these were weather balloons that had just tracked off of their course and got into the jet stream. But then later on, they came back and admitted that they were equipped with spy software, and that the reason that they had that narrative is because they did not, quote unquote, want to shoot it down over populated areas because they didn't know if it would hurt, kill, damage property. So they waited for it to get off the South Carolina coast and then shot it down over the ocean. But then later on, they admitted, it's a fact, they admitted that it was a Chinese spy balloon and had the ability to interrupt communication here on this earth in our country. Now you factor that with the narrative coming out of AT&T when all the cell phones were down, just yesterday or day before yesterday, I can't remember, at the time of this live recording. And it was said that, that it was a SIM card issue. It's just ironic to me that we have been prepped by the media, Netflix, Leave the World Behind, Civil War movies coming out. One of the things that they have in common is creating chaos by affecting communication. Well, they have already programmed all of us, including myself, including you, because look what we're doing. We're using the media that they invented called social media, video platforms. And here we are. Here we are connected to that phone, connected to media, connected. That's how we get all our information. That's how we check on our kids. That's how we check on our spouses. That's, our money is, we're paying for things with our phones. We're with our watches, with our phones. We're, all of our news comes in that way. It's talking about church. I'm a pastor. People pay their tithes through their phone. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Text to give. Now you think about how much of our lives are dependent upon the signals that are going all around us right now. I mean, there's radio signals, there's TV signals, there's satellite signals, and then of course there's cellular systems, signals, frequencies, not just of one provider, but multiple providers. Now you have satellite internet. People are getting their internet from the satellites in space, from Elon Musk technology, Starlink, and all of this, and that's only going to grow. So I remember watching an interview with Tucker Carlson, and somebody asked Tucker Carlson, does Tucker Carlson believe that we're going to be invaded by China? Or maybe he went ahead. Actually, the question was, do you believe that there's going to be nuclear war, nuclear attack? And he said no. And he's the first time I've heard somebody say, no, I don't think that's even in the game plan. Why? Because he said, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to, if your plan is to invade and control a country, why would you destroy it, destroy the structures, blow up the buildings, make it uninhabitable when you could literally launch a cyber attack, knock out the power grid, knock out the cell phone coverage, throw this world into chaos, and then all of a sudden they turn on each other. You then control everything. If you already control the food supply, of which they do, they already control the prescriptions, of which they do. They control the building supplies. They control the chips. They control the computers. They have bought up farmland all over this country, in countries around the world. They have bought up real estate. The Chinese communist government and companies tied directly to the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, has bought up skyscrapers, downtown, the majority of the downtown real estate in some of the most major cities in the world. You've got TikTok coming straight out, which is basically a mind-numbing programming wing of the Communist Party in China that is creating this almost like zombie-like population, especially with the younger generation. So then you have this balloon that flies across America again. Lo and behold, in February, 1 year from the last time it happened. But it's okay. The media is telling us it's nothing. It just happened to be on the week that all this cell phone issue happened. Let me just tell you, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, the conspiracy theorists are batting a pretty good high batting average right now. I believe there is something big coming. We've covered it here on the big picture. Others have covered it. No fear mongering. These are factual things that we can see unfolding right before our very eyes. I have people that are in the military that have confided in me and telling me that it is a common thing that is discussed in the United States military, in the Australian military, in the United Kingdom, and in militaries all around the world. It is being said, we are going to war with China. We are going to war with China. That when we get into the thralls of this election, they hate Trump so much. And when you know the other party, Biden is probably more than likely not going to be running. So there's going to be chaos of who that's going to be. They're going to do everything they can do to disrupt this election. And while we're in the middle of all this turmoil and disunity and chaos and division in our country and in countries around the world, it's going to be the perfect time for China to take Taiwan and stick it right in the face of the whole world, especially the United States. And if they have got the ability, as they have come across our country multiple times now with these balloons, mapped out, they've basically mapped out our country. They have looked into our military bases. They see where our nuclear weapons are. You put all that together and you know that we already have covered, and we've already told you it's a fact. We have they have at least admitted this part, that the Chinese government has hacked our power grid. They have hacked the distribution system of our of the food coming and going. The there's just every kind of market that we have. They have demonstrated with little attacks here and little attacks there, testing to see how quickly and easily we can get into these systems. Well, they're doing it. They've done it and they're doing it. So I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I may be wrong. It may be completely an innocent balloon. But do you really just think that that's just happenstance? When's the last time before this administration and before the last couple of years, when's the last time you ever heard anybody talking about mysterious balloons tracking across our country and across our military facilities and jets being taken up, fighter jets, to deal with these balloons? They're going to try to tell us that this has been going on for years. They've been trying to tell us it's been going on for decades. Their balloons go across and get out of their jet streams all the time and just sort of accidentally follow through Alaska, down through Canada, across through Wyoming, across Colorado, make a turn, and just so happen the jet stream just takes them right across military and nuclear facilities. And you want to tell me that 1 year anniversary of that happening, here we are again, here we go again. And then while it's going across, all of a sudden we have a mysterious SIM card problem with AT&T. Have you already forgot? Is it already got out of your system that it was 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours into the outage of AT&T before AT&T even made a comment? I went to their Twitter page, their X page, right when this started breaking in the news. There was nothing on AT&T's X or Twitter page because they were taken off guard. In fact, spokesman said at first they didn't even know what had happened. So they came back and said it was a SIM card transfer issue or whatever. Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's just too ironic. I believe China is prepping their hacking systems and their delivery systems all over the world. Because if they try to take Taiwan in the middle of this election, and then we start threatening and we start trying to tell the world what they're doing, and they have the ability to hack and just flip a switch and turn off our ability to communicate with each other, our ability to communicate with the rest of the world. By the way, if you think that the goal is just so that you can't call your kids at school or call your wife and see where she's at, tell her to pick up a gallon of milk, and you can't do that because you can't communicate. If you think hackers care that much about you and your ability to pick up a gallon of milk, let me just tell you something. That's not the big prize. The big prize is GPS satellites that control military vehicles. The big prize is satellite communication, communication among the military, among the government, among the power system that is here. That is what is the goal of hacking. One more thing to remind you of. Remember, you don't think this can quickly happen. Remember when Israel was attacked on October 7th, and just a few days after they were attacked, the sirens went to go off all over northern Israel, and they have this system on their phones, Israeli citizens, that warned them of incoming missiles, and they were warned that Hezbollah was in the northern area, was launching the largest missile attack in their history. Everybody ran to their bomb shelters. Everybody freaked out. Some of my favorite people I was following, they were live in Israel. They had to cut off and they could hear the sirens. They were getting notifications on their phone. They ran to their bomb shelters. Guess what? It wasn't even real. The Hezbollah government, which is backed by Iran, hacked into one of the most top secret, um, hard to hack systems in the world, which is Israel. They hacked into their notification system and sent out a false notification to all of the Jewish people that they were under attack to create chaos. Well, let me just tell you something. That kind of technology is available to all of the world right now. War in this day will not be like war that's ever been before. People used to have to go to the movie theaters during World War II, and they would sit and they would watch the newsreels come on before their movie started, or maybe at the end. Now it's instant. And if instantly the narrative gets out before the truth gets out, everybody's going to believe the false narrative. So are these weather balloons, are they responsible for what happened with AT&T? I don't know. Are these weather balloons, supposedly weather balloons, actually non-threatening, non-navigational balloons that just happened to get over in some kind of jet stream, and our jets got up there and verified, hey, it's nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's nothing. Everybody just take a deep breath. Maybe, possibly, 100% could be true. But are you not skeptical? Are you not to the point where it's sad that we automatically question the narrative that comes out of our government that is supposed to be protecting us, and the media that is supposed to be informing us? That is why God called a pawpaw like me after pastoring for 30 years, thinking I was going to slow down, and said, you're going to be busier than you've ever been. You're going to start a YouTube channel called The Big Picture, because you're going to show people there is a spiritual war going on. There are things going on that you will never see in the secular media. But God is raising up media and voices that are overriding what the world says. Share this broadcast. Hit the like button if you have not done that. Smash it, smash it, smash it. No matter where you're watching this, make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube and Rumble, because that's where the majority of everything that we do happens. So in a couple of nights, don't forget, Sandy and I will be right here live doing our Monday night show at 7 o'clock, 2-hour news show. We hope everybody's going to join us. God bless you. Thank you for joining me on this quick Saturday morning for me. I just had to get on here and address this. Keep your eyes open. Stay awake. We ain't woke, but we certainly are awake. God bless you. Talk to you next time on The Big Picture. God.